Hello my dear students, welcome to the board. What a joy to see you here. Mr. Mac is so excited because in this lesson, which will be this also sub lesson, we're going to learn geometrical construction. We're going to be using a straight edge and a compasses. Okay, so when I say straight edge and compasses, now this would be the straight edge, and then the compasses looks like this. Okay, right here. All right, and I would strongly recommend that you have these two tools with you, and also along with a white paper. So when Mr. Mac's teaching you, I want you to construct along with Mr. Mac. All right, that's the best way to learn. So as I'm teaching, when you do have your hands on it, you're going to learn better rather than just sitting and watching what Mr. Mac's showing and drawing and constructing. I recommend that you do along with it. Okay, so if you don't have it right now with you, go ahead, pause the video. If you don't have it, go ahead, stop the video and go and buy, and then come back and join Mr. Mac, because it is very important. You got to have this tools, so that I want you to, because you're going to have hands-on practice at the end of every part that Mr. Mac's going to teach you, so you got to have this. Alright, go for it, go ahead, pause it or stop the video and then come back. Okay, but if you already have it, great, let's do it. Okay, now keep in mind, this is a small, Mr. Mac's going to be used the bigger version. So okay, I can't draw the straight edge there, but because I got to show you in a bigger scale, okay, I kind of magnify the centimeters. As you can see, this is not the real measurement of centimeters, but I just kind of make it bigger so that I can show it in a bigger drawing on the board. So I'm going to use a straight edge, and then for the compasses, Mr. Mac got one right here, a big one also compared to this one. Can you imagine Mr. Mac try to draw this and try to show it to you? It's going to be very difficult. That's why Mr. Mac got one, a big one, so I can draw it on the board so you can learn. Okay, so good. Alright, let's get started. Okay, now first part of the geometrical construction, we're going to learn how to draw a line with a measurement. Let's say Mr. Mac told you, okay, a line segment. Okay, so I want you to draw me a 4 centimeters length of a line. Let's say AB. All right, so I want AB equal to 4 centimeters. Okay, so always start with a horizontal line. Okay, always draw a horizontal line. Okay, right there. All right, just draw one straight line. All right, okay, pick a point. Alright, this is going to be a starting point. Alright, there's always a starting point. Alright, so this is going to be your A. Now, you want to locate your B. So that's where you grab the compasses. Alright, so we want what? 4 centimeters. Okay, be sure you put the sharp part like the 0. Alright, if you look at the compasses, alright, there is a sharp, this is, see, like a needle right there. So I want you to put the needle on the 0. Okay, so let's say this is the needle and this is the pencil right there. Alright, so this is where the pencil is right there. Okay, so keep in mind, so if you try to show it closer, see that how it looks like. This is for the needle part, and this is the pencil. For me, it will be chalk. Alright, okay, so we're going to put the needle part of it at the 0, 0, and then I'm going to put it at the 4. Once I locate the 4, I'm going to tighten this. See that? So that way it won't move. See that? So now see that? It won't move. The same thing with this one, has the same way too. Alright? So once, but this one's already tight. So it's not loose, like Mr. Max is loose, I have to tighten. But some of them does have tightening. Alright? Like a nuts and bolts, so you can tighten that. But this one's such a stiff, you don't really have to tighten. So because when you put the length you want, it will be stiff, it will not be, change it. Alright, okay, so now when I know from 0, okay, the sharp parts will pause right on the 0, and then I look for 4 right there. Alright, that's giving me 4 centimeters. So I take the sharp parts, alright, put it like the A, and then I just mark it right there, and that's going to be my B. This is my B. Now if I to measure this, okay, if I to measure this now, it will give me 4 centimeters. So from 0 to 4 right there, 4 centimeters. Okay, see that? Okay, good. Pretty easy, isn't it? Line segment, straightforward. Okay, so keep in mind, you take the compasses, the sharp part, alright, the needle, the one has the needle's end, you put it like the 0, 0, and then locate for the 4. So always, okay, you can move it. See that right now? It easily moves it. Once you locate to the 4, oops, make sure right there, put it right there, and then to the 4, oops, Let's came out. Let's see. Okay, let me grab that. Okay, let's put right there, and then 4. Once I do that, and then I'm going to tighten it. See that? So now it won't move. See that? It won't move. So, and then your starting point right there. See that? Okay, good. Pretty easy, isn't it? Now let's say, for example, we want to draw another line. All right, the length of line this time is 6 centimeters. All right, so what do we do? Well, first step is draw a straight horizontal line. All right, we're just going to put one long horizontal line. Okay, do that. Okay, you drawn a straight line. All right, good. So this time we want to say x, y, 6 centimeters. So always start a starting point. All right, starting point's right there. Okay, that's going to be my x. Now, do I know what's going to y be? Not yet, because we're going to measure it first. All right, we're going to find where's y. Let's loosen this up. Always start at this 0, 0, and then locate for the 6 centimeters. When I find that, oops, let me use both hands here properly. Okay, put it there, and then once I do that, and then I tighten this. Oh, it fell off again. All right, right there. Okay, there we go. Okay, so then I'm going to tighten this up. All right, once I've done that, so now, okay, see that? It's kind of stiff. It won't be moving. So now I know this is the X points right there. The needle part, you poke it right there. And then just mark it. See that? And that's going to be your Y right there. And so the length from here to there is going to be 6 centimeters. And you know the length from A to B is going to be, was what? 4 centimeters. That's it. Pretty easy. Alright? Alright, good. Now let Mr. Mac erase the board and we'll talk about how to draw triangle. If I give you the lengths of 3 sides of the triangle, how to draw one. Alright? I'll be back in a few seconds. Alright, my dear students, are you ready to learn how to draw a triangle? Okay, now let's understand the characteristic of a triangle. When I say triangle, there are how many sides in a triangle? There are 3 sides, alright? Alright, good. So that means what? We need a length of the 3 sides, okay? So if Mr. Mac to provide you the length of 3 sides, let's say for example, we're going to have a triangle that says ABC, okay? So let's draw a rough sketch of a triangle. 1, 2, 3 sides, okay? So it's going to be A, B, and C. Alright? Then I gave you AB, it's equals to 3 centimeters. BC equals to 4 centimeters. And CA, see that? AB, BC, CA. CA equals to 5 centimeters. Okay, so we got A, B, C, a triangle, alright? So we know that AB is 3 centimeters. Alright, this is 3 centimeters and this is 4 centimeters, BC, and CA, back to where we started, which is 5 centimeters. Alright, okay, so first step, I want you to grab your straight edge. Grab your straight edge and then create a long horizontal line. Okay, let's create one long horizontal line. Alright, one long horizontal line. Don't worry about the measurement yet. That's what we're going to do right now, okay? Locate your A point. So we're going to put this as the A point. So this is going to be our A point, all right? And then grab your compasses, all right? Grab your compasses, okay? So now we want to measure for the horizontal line, 5 centimeters. We're going to start with AC, in other words, CA, which is 5 centimeters, all right? Let's measure 5 centimeters. We're going to put it right in the 0, the needle, and then locate the 5 right there on your straight edge. Okay, do that on your straight edge and then tighten it. Okay, your compasses, if it's already doesn't have a tighten but it's already stiff type, you don't have to tighten it. All right, so we know that's your oops, see Mr. Mike didn't tighten it properly, it's kind of moved, so I'm going to tighten that. All right, there we go. Okay, now I'm going to put it where the A point is. Okay, that's my starting point. All right, so this is my how many centimeters? 5 centimeters, and that's my, what point is that? This is it, this point right there. When the 2 line, all right, okay, intercept right there, that's the point. Okay, that's my point C, and I know what's my length is 5 centimeters. All right, be sure to label them. All right, mark it so there's no A and that's a C. Now we want to find out AB, which is 3 centimeters. So that means we're going to draw like this. Alright, so let's measure 3 centimeters. Okay, loosen up and then position your needle on the 0, the sharp points on the 0 of the scale of your straight edge, and then locate the 3 centimeters. You did that? Good job. And then if you have a tightening it, go ahead, tighten that. If it's a stiff type of a compasses, then just position it. Alright, okay, now I'm going to put it the A, the needle, and then draw a line like this. Okay, just draw. Alright, okay, create like that. So this is pretty much like a center. See, this is create a circle. Alright, so you just kind of put a line like this, enough. You don't have to do too much. Okay, now see, that's going to be A, B. We don't know where that's going to fall, because from here is where touching, that's the one that's going to tell me where it's going to be the B point. We're going to find the point of intercept. We're going to position here, and then we're going to put 4 centimeters. Okay, for BC. See that? C is right there. BC. We're going to find the 4 centimeters. Let's loosen up. Alright, let's go to the 0 and then position to 4 centimeters right there. Alright, and then tighten it. Oh, let me push this one in and then tighten it. Alright, okay, mine is kind of like a suction cup. That's it. So it holds it to the board. Yours is a needle. Alright, so you kind of put a hole to the paper, so that way it holds it there. Alright, so now I know that's my 4 centimeters. Then I position like the C point, the needle, and then I just go like this. Look at that. That's the point of intercept right there. And that's my B. Okay, so now I'm going to take the straight edge. I'm going to take the straight edge from A to B. I'm going to draw a straight line. A to B, and then B to C. B to C right there. Okay, right there. We create a triangle. If Mr. Mac to use the straight edge right here, we know that's my 5 centimeters. Alright, and this is going to be my 4 centimeters, and this is my 3 centimeters. See? 5, 4, 3. Pretty easy, isn't it? Straightforward. Alright, good job. Now if you have a doubt, just go back and watch how Mr. Mac did that. Okay, drawing the triangle. Pretty easy, isn't it? Alright, good. Well, let Mr. Mac raise the board and we'll learn more. I'll be back within a few seconds. Alright, my dear student, in this part of the sub-lesson, we're going to talk about how to draw a perpendicular line. Alright, now let Mr. Mike write down perpendicular. Okay, what is the characteristic of perpendicular line? Alright, perpendicular line means you had one horizontal and one vertical, and they make 90 degrees. Alright, that means you got one horizontal and one vertical, and this makes 90 degrees. But by sketch, we don't know, is this really perpendicular or not? See that? But we want to do a construction, okay, a geometrical construction. In other words, exactly we want to be 90 degrees. Now, first step in drawing, constructing a perpendicular line, all right, out of a line with a bisect, okay, anywhere along the line, all right, you draw a horizontal line, okay, take your straight edge, okay, draw a horizontal line, okay, so let's draw a horizontal line. Alright, doesn't matter how long it is, just draw one, alright? And then just pick 2 points. Let's say point A and then point B on that line. Alright? Once you locate those 2 points, now grab your compasses, okay? Grab your compasses. Alright? Now, you know the center is going to be somewhere around there, alright? Because you don't have to be exactly, the reason I want you to know where the center is, I just want you to go longer than the halfway between A, B. Alright, if this is the center, just go a little bit longer. Doesn't matter, it can be here, it can be here, anywhere. Alright, just right there, alright? Once, make sure you take the sharp point, put it right on the A. Alright? So, and then just go above, longer than the halfway between A, B, just right there. And then mark it. Right there, and mark it right there. Alright, I want to mark it 2 places. One, and then one in the bottom. Up and down. Now, take that. Make sure you didn't move it. The size has to be, make sure Mr. Mac didn't change the size, alright? I mean, because when I pulled it, I must have changed it, alright? It's very important. The length has to be same. So make sure Mr. Mac, same, that's right. Oh, make sure Mr. Mac got it right here. and right there. Okay, good. They're same, alright? It's very important, okay? They has to be same. And then make sure this one's tightened. Now pull this gently out and then position it at the B. Your sharp point now, the sharp needle side at the B, and then put a line. Such a way that crosses up. See that? It's crossing with this line and the bottom line. So the point right here, this point and this point, you want to use a straight edge and draw a vertical line. Draw a vertical line. Alright? If we want a perpendicular, we don't have to go all the way down, we just can stop. Make sure you position in such a way your straight edge is like this point and that point. And then you just draw one straight line down, right there. And that is a perpendicular line to this horizontal line. See that? Pretty easy, isn't it? Alright? The key is what? Let's review, okay? What we did, first we drew a horizontal line, and then we picked 2 points, and then we take the compasses, and then we positioned it such a way the length such a way is greater than the halfway, just halfway, alright? And then we put a one line there, one line there. Make sure the distance is same. When I go to this side, tighten it so that it won't change, and I do the same thing, one line there and then one line there. Alright, and I got 2 points, and I take the straight edge, line it up the straight edge to this point and the bottom point, the top point and bottom point, straightest line. There you go, you created a perpendicular line. Alright, now that is randomly anywhere along the line. It's not exactly a center or anything like that, just bisect, alright, on the line AB. Now what happened if I want it to be exactly the center of AB? This perpendicular line goes very center of AB. How do we do that? Alright, let Mr. Mac erase the board and we'll do that one in a few seconds. I'll be back. My dear students, this time what we're going to do is we're going to draw a perpendicular line to a horizontal line, alright? And the perpendicular line is touching to the center of AB, alright? So what do we do? Let's draw the horizontal line first, okay? So let's just draw a horizontal line, but let's say we want the AB to be 4 centimeters, alright? So keep in mind 4 centimeters. So what I want to do is, so if it's 4 centimeters, the center is going to be what? 2 centimeters, 2 centimeters, okay? So I want you to measure 2 centimeters. So you put the sharp point or the needle point of it on the 0 and then position it to the 2 and then tighten it, alright? So we can tighten that, okay? So let's tighten that, okay? So once I tighten that, okay, oh, make sure it's kind of moved, alright, there we go, good, alright, okay? So now I'm going to locate a center point. Let's say this is the center point right there. Alright? Okay? So position, see where the needle is? I want you to put it on the center of it and then mark it right there and then mark it right there. See, that's going to be your A and B. A and B. Right there. A and B. And the length from A to B is 4 centimeters. And this one is your 2 centimeters. Now we want to create a vertical line to the center. Alright, so we want to create a perfect vertical. Alright, so what do we do? Now, first thing I want to do is position the sharp or the needle on the A. Now see, there's a center. I want it to go longer than that. Just doesn't matter, any longer. Alright, doesn't have to be exactly like Mr. Max. So you can be longer like this, anywhere. Alright, once you've done that, I want you to draw a line like this. Okay, draw a line like that, and then take that. Don't change it. Make sure you keep it same, alright? Put it to the B, the needle of the B, and then draw another line right there. Alright? It's kind of like I'm drawing a circle, okay? Just so that it crosses the other line. See the point of intercept right there? Put a point there, right there. Now take a straight edge and line it up from that point to this point right there. Okay? So then draw a straight line down. Draw a straight line. That is a vertical. That is a vertical line, okay, perpendicular, okay, to the horizontal line of AB, and it's touching at the center of AB. See that? Pretty easy, isn't it? Alright, let's recap. What we did first we draw a straight line. And we say, let's say we decide 4 centimeters, the length of AB. So we measure it 2 centimeters and we locate the center, 2 centimeters, 2 centimeters, we marked it. And then we put the points A and B. And then we grab the compasses and then we went a little bit longer than the 2 centimeters. And then we marked it this side and then we put it over the needle and then marked it this side. We found the point. We pointed, we already know from the beginning this is the center. We put a straight edge, choose a straight edge, put a straight line. That made it a perpendicular line right there. See that? Pretty easy, isn't it? Okay, alright, good. Let Mr. Mac erase. And then next one we're going to talk about what, okay, let's draw right here. Okay, now this is when I give you a center point on the line. What happened if I have a horizontal line and I want to create a vertical from that point? Alright, in other words, a perpendicular line from that point. Not on the line, but anywhere above that line, I want to create a perpendicular, alright? Alright, let Mr. Mac erase the board. And then, we'll do that. I'll be back with you in a few seconds. Alright, my dear student, earlier we learned how to draw a perpendicular line when the point of intercept of the perpendicular line on the horizontal line, okay, on the line itself. This time what happens if I want to draw a perpendicular line and the point is above the line, it's not on the line, okay, above the horizontal line. Okay, let's say for example Mr. Mac to draw an horizontal line. Always start with the horizontal line, okay? So we draw an horizontal line. I want to create, let's say I randomly pick a point right there. I want to create a perpendicular line from that point. So another straight down. See that? I can't just simply put a straight edge and then figure it out. There got to be a proper way to get a perfect perpendicular to the horizontal. Alright, to the horizontal line. So what do we do? Alright, again take the compasses, okay? Alright, so what I want you to do is put the needle right on this point right there. And then just mark anyway, just pick any length you want, mark right there, and then make sure it's same on this side also. Don't change it. See that? Okay, so make sure you tighten it. So this side and that side has to be same. Alright, so see Mr. Mac's kind of sliding, so I got to be very careful. When I pick this point, I have to make sure it's permanent. Okay, let me change different location because it's kind of moved. So because yours it puts a hole to it, mine kind of suction cup. There's a tendency of this sliding. So let's erase this line. Let's find another one. All right. So make sure this is position secured. All right. When I pick this point right there, I'm going to tighten this. Okay. Make sure I tighten this. I'm going to pick this point. So I'm going to tighten this. Okay. Make sure it's tight. So now I hold this down and I'm going to mark it right there. That's going to be my 1 point right there, and then this side 1 point right there. Okay, all right, now I'm going to pull this one out. Okay, so this is going to be my point A and this is going to be my point B. All right, so now I take this, mine is the suction cup, yours is going to be the needle. All right, position it on the A and then just put a line like that. Alright, kind of like drawing a circle, just put a line and then pull it out, position at B, the needle, alright, and then draw another line such a way that it crosses it. See that? So it's created a point of intercept right there. That's another point, you got it. Now you take a straight edge, you take the straight edge, line it up such a way that this point and that point, and then draw a straight line down right there. Draw a straight line. Now this is your perpendicular right there, like that, from that point that's not on the line but above the line. Alright, so now right there, perpendicular. This make a perfect perpendicular. Okay, pretty easy, isn't it? Alright, my dear student, so you learned 3 different ways of drawing perpendicular lines. Okay, so alright, okay, good. Let Mr. Mac erase the board and we will learn more. I'll be back with you in a few seconds. Alright, my dear students, this time we want to learn how to construct an angle. The angle that we want to construct is 60 degrees, okay? Now let's talk about something. Let's talk about triangle. Now when I say equilateral triangle, what is the characteristic that you know about equilateral triangle, which we learned from our previous lesson? Which means all sides are equal, alright? So that means if I have an equilateral triangle, that means this side, this side, this sides are equal. Now what about the angle? What are the angles are? This is 60 degrees, 60 degrees, 60 degrees. Because you know that in a triangle inside, the total angles is what? 180 degrees. That means 180 divided by 3 give me 60, 60, 60. Now this is only applied for equilateral triangle. Alright? Doesn't apply to any other triangle except equilateral triangle. That means all sides are equal. With that principle in mind, we're going to use that to construct an angle of 60 degrees. Alright? Okay, so what's our first step? First step, we're going to draw a horizontal line. Alright? We're just going to draw one long horizontal line. And then we're going to put a point A and then B. Alright? We're just going to say this is a straight line. Alright? AB. Okay? So now we're going to take the compasses. Alright, let's take the compasses. Alright, so we're going to take this is going to be our pointing, sharp point, the needle. We're going to put it at the A. Just randomly pick anywhere. Alright, just anywhere before the B. So draw like this. Alright, we did that. Okay, see the point of intercept right there. Now look at this length. You want to keep this length, don't adjust this length, make sure you tighten it. Alright, now put the needle on the point where it's intercepting right here. See right there? Put the needle over there. Okay, now look for this point right there where it's crossing. See that? See that right there? And then mark that one, that intercept. Okay, in reality you're creating a triangle. This point to this point, same length as this point to that point, same length as that point. See that this line all are same. So that tells you what? If I had to take the straight edge, alright, if I take the straight edge and then from this point to that point, okay, line it up. Alright, then if I put it straight out, okay, let me put it straight up like there. Now this angle right here is 60 degrees. It's 60 degrees. Why is it 60 degrees? Now if I to take this point to that point, if I to combine that, alright, if I combine those 2 points, that creates, this is an equilateral triangle. See that? This is also 60, this is also 60. Because all this length are same. With that principle, we created an angle of 60 degrees. See that? So now, see that? This is 60 degrees. Exactly 60 degrees. If you have the template, the angle template, if you put it right there, it'll show 60 degrees right there. Alright? Now, how do we draw 120 degrees? Now, keep in mind, in a straight line, alright, what's the total angle? What is this angle right there? 180, okay? In a straight line, the angle is 180. Now, if I were to tell you this is 60, let's say this is 60 degrees, what is this one? 120, am I right? Because 120 plus 60 gives me 180. So that means if this angle is 60, if I were to put a straight line, and what is this one's going to be? 120. Okay, so now if I to draw this on this side, now I can have this angle as 120, am I right? Alright, let Mr. Mac erase this board, alright? Let me erase this, and then we will construct this 60 degrees facing this way. Like this will be 60, so this will be 120. See that? Okay, I'll be back within a few seconds. Alright, my dear student, so we're going to construct 60-degree angle. Alright, what are we going to do? So we're going to start with the horizontal line. Okay, so let's do that. Let's draw an horizontal line, and then we'll label that horizontal line AB. Okay, so let's draw this horizontal line, and let's say this is AB. Alright, AB. Okay, so let's pick this as our center point. Okay, let's say this is our center point right there. Alright, so we can take the compasses, So we're going to grab the compasses here, and then I'm going to put the needle right there. Alright, okay, so I'm going to position it such like this, right there. Alright, so make sure this, now if I position that, make sure this is tight. Alright, once this is tight, okay, then make sure I tighten this one up. Once I tighten that up, and then I'm just going to draw like a circle, like this. I'm just going to draw a circle like that. Okay, now I pull this one out, and then I position on this point right here, the needle. Alright, mine will be suction cup, yours will be the needle right there. Position that, make sure you don't change the size. Alright, make sure this is tightened. So now I'm just going to measure right there. Okay, now this is the point right there. Okay, now I'm going to take the straight edge and join this point to this point right there. Okay, I'm going to join that. Use a straight edge, line it up, and then I'm just going to join that right there. So what is this angle? Very good, 60 degrees. If that is 60 degrees, what is this? 180 minus 60 will give me 120. So now you know this angle is 120 degrees. See that? Pretty easy, isn't it? Alright, okay, so we found the 60 this side, and then we know 180 minus 60 will give me 120. Now this time we want to learn, if I to Mr. Mac to give you, let's say, angle like this, alright, how to find a bisector of that angle. Perfectly, this angle and that angle has to be same. Let's say this is 60 degrees. How to make this one 30 and 30, perfectly 30 and 30. Okay, so how to draw a bisector angle of a given angle. Okay, I'll be back with you in a few seconds. Alright, my dear student, this time we want to learn how to bisector an angle. Alright, like say for example, what do I mean by that? If Mr. Mac to give you a 60 degree angle, alright, okay, this is 60 degree. I want to bisector, that means perfectly, okay, in between, such a way that this one will be 30 degrees and this one will be 30 degrees. See that? Now look at that. When Mr. Max sketched it, of course this is not a perfect angle, alright? But by using this method, we will have a perfect 60 degrees, and then bisect it such will be 30 and 30, alright? So let's start with drawing a 60 degree angle. So what's our first step? Alright, we're going to take a straight edge, we're going to put a horizontal line, alright? Let's start with the horizontal line. Okay, we're going to draw a horizontal line. Okay, so next thing we're going to do is what? Pick up, let's say this is point A, alright, let's say point A, and this is going to be B, alright, and then we're going to take the compasses, alright, we take the compasses, put the sharp point, okay, on A, alright, put a sharp point A, just pick any line, any location, alright, then just draw a line like this, alright, and then pull that sharp point, put it on this intercept right there, at that point, and then find another intercept of that line right there. Once you've done that, put a point right there. From that point, combine it, alright? So line it up, your straight edge, line it up. So line it up from there to there, line it up, okay? So now, we got a 60 degree angle. Now goal is to create a bisector, such way it will be right center, alright? Of course, there's no way with our manually, like just guessing. That's not mathematics. We don't guess. But I say, whoa, I think it's right there. I'm just going to draw. No, we can't do that. All right. So we can use this construction, geometrical construction method. All right. What are you going to do? We can grab the right there, the compasses. All right. So what we're going to do is take the sharp point. Okay. All right. Just point any position. Just like for example. Okay. Let's just take a short one right there. Mark there, but don't change it. Make sure you mark there. Alright, so same length. Alright, mark there, and then pull that sharp point out of that point A. Now this one you really don't have to worry about this length and this length doesn't have to be same, but if you want to, you can also. Alright, put it right, this 2 points right here, this point right here and point right there. Take the sharp point here, poke it right in that point, and then put a mark. But very important, the length has to be same. Put this point, the sharp point here, put it right there, and then cross it. Very important. Create the intercept between these two lines. Alright, these two actually like a slightly circled there, you know. I shouldn't say line, but just keep in mind when I say line, I meant by arc. I should say the word arc. These two arc, alright. The intercept, these two arc right there. Put a point right there. Now take a straight edge. Take a straight edge, line it up such a way, that point and that A point right there, and then put a straight line. Okay, line it up such a way that you can put a straight line right there. Oh, I might drop the straight edge. Alright, look at this. This is 30 degrees and that also 30 degrees. You created a perfect bisector by doing this method. So again, what we did again, once I create a 60 degrees angle, I take the compasses, the sharp point, I put it at the A, and then I find one point here, one point there. Alright? Okay, I create an arc here, arc there, so that it's the point of intercept between the line and the arc right there. Okay, at that point, that 2 points, I'm going to take the sharp point. On yours is sharp, mine's the suction cup. I position that, and then I create one arc here, and then put it right here, and another arc there. And where it's intercepting, I create a point right there. Okay, between those two arc. And then from this point to that point, I joined it with a straight line. That automatically bisected this 60 degrees angle into 30, 30. Now, how about 45 degrees angle? We want to create a 45 degrees angle. How do we do that? Let's do that, okay? Let Mr. Mac erase the board. That would be a perfect hands-on practice. How about we do that? Alright, Mr. Mac is going to challenge you. You should be ready to create a 45 degrees angle, alright? The hint I'm going to give you is right there. You create a perpendicular line, because when you make a perpendicular, that makes it 90 degrees. Alright? When you bisected the 90 degrees, what happens? 45, 45. I want to see you create a 45, a perfect 45. Go ahead, pause the video, do it. Alright, hands-on practice, good one. We give Pablo a break, okay? Let's see what he's doing. Look at that, shaking his leg. Alright, he's shaking his leg. Let him do that, okay? Alright, go ahead, pause the video and have fun. How was it? Please, isn't it? Alright, okay, let's do it together, okay? Alright, let's do that. Okay, first, what are we going to do? Let me grab the straight edge. Okay, first we're going to do is what? Put a horizontal line. Always start with the horizontal line. Okay, let's put a nice long horizontal line. Okay, so we're going to create an horizontal line, and we're going to create a perpendicular line. Am I just going to put like this and draw? No, Mr. Mac, this is a geometrical construction lesson. We're going to do it the proper way. Okay, because we're going to create a perfect perpendicular line. Alright, so perpendicular to the horizontal line. Okay, so how we do that? Okay, let's grab the compasses. That's where this is for. Alright, so first we're going to pick a point A and then point B. Alright, so we can take the sharp point right there. In your case, it will be a sharp point, the needle, put a point A. You see this is a center, just make it a little bit longer. Alright, so create a line like this. Make sure this is tight, it's not loose, okay? Make sure, because we're going to use the same length. Now we're going to put the B, the sharp point, we're going to put the B, and then we're going to touch it to that arch. We're going to create, okay, we want to create an intercept. See that? It created an intercept right there. Okay, we're going to do the same thing on this side. We create an arch, and then we're going to put the B, and then we're going to create an arch right there. Okay? Okay, see that? Okay, so you got 2 points. One on the bottom, one on the up. Alright? So what we did, we took the sharp point, we put it the A. Actually, I should have done same time. This way and this way. So we don't have to repeat it. Okay, there go one shot. So I did that, and then I take it to the B, and I did the same thing right there, and then right there. Alright? So that gave me 2 intercept of the arcs. 2 points. Now I take the straight edge, line it up. Okay? But I only want to keep it, see this is lined up, okay, right there. Alright? Because now you just put a straight line. Okay, so let's just put a straight line. I'm just going to stop right there, because I know if I keep going I'll hit that, because I know that's going to be right there. That's going to be what, 90 degrees. Okay, that's my 90 degrees. My goal is what? To create 45 degrees. So I'm going to do what? Bisect. Okay, I'm going to bisect right there. So what am I going to do? Am I going to just guess it? No, we're not going to guess it. We're going to use what we learned earlier, how to bisect this 90 degrees. When I bisected this angle 90 degrees into two parts, equal angles will be what? 45 and 45. Alright? Okay, let's do that. So we're going to take the compasses. What are we going to do first? Alright? So so this is going to be our point. Alright? So this is going to be our point right there. Okay? So I'm going to take the sharp one, I'm going to stick it right there. Alright? So I'm just going to mark it anywhere, doesn't matter. So let's say mark it right there, make sure you keep the same. Mark it right there. Okay? Mark it right there, and then right there. Alright? So now let's put a point to that one. So we got point right here, and a point right there. Okay? Now take the compasses, now take the sharp needle one, put it the first part right here, and then just mark it anywhere along here. And same, nothing changed, okay? Put it right there, on this point right there, okay? This point right there, put it right there, and then such a way that arc will intercept. See that? Two arc intercept. This is the point you're looking for. Now you want to take a straight edge. You want to combine this point to that point. That will bisect. That will bisect this 90 degrees angle, and to create a 45 degrees angle. That's a perfect. This is a 45, and this is 45. See that? Pretty easy, isn't it? I hope you're following with Mr. Mac. I hope you're using your compasses. Alright? Are you? Oh, you know you are. Because you're Mr. Mac student. Because you are the best. Alright? Okay, be sure. Alright? Using your compasses and doing along with Mr. Mac. Okay, good. There we go. We learned how to bisector. Alright? And an angle. So we did the 90 degrees. We bisected into 45, 45. Earlier, we bisected 60 degrees into 30 degrees and 30 degrees angle. Alright? Alright, my dear student, let Mr. Mac raise the board and let's learn more, and I'll be back in a few seconds. Alright, my dear student, in this part of the sub-lesson, we're going to learn how to construct triangles. But at the beginning, we learn how to construct triangles. How? I give you the 3 sides length. I gave you the length of the 3 sides. Now, how about I throw a curveball? I say this time, I only give you 1 length and 2 angles. How do you do that? Pretty easy. Actually, let's do it. Alright, okay? What do we do? Always when I say construct a triangle, okay, you start with the horizontal line. Alright, we're going to start with the horizontal line. Okay, first let's just draw a horizontal line. Okay, so we're just going to draw a horizontal line. Alright, I have to give you the 1 length and the 2 angles. Am I right? Okay, let's do that. Alright, let's say Mr. Mac give you AB, okay, is let's say 5 centimeters. And then I gave you the angle. Alright, let's say this is right there. This is the triangle. Okay, this is your A, B, and C. And I gave you, let's say, BAC. Okay, so BAC is 60 degrees. And then I gave you ABC. ABC is 30 degrees. And I want you to construct that triangle. But just this 3 information. Alright, let's do that. Alright, okay, so let's start with AB. AB is 5 centimeters. So we're going to take the compasses. Let's measure 5 centimeters. Okay, so you take this, your sharp point, put it to the 0, and then locate 5 right there. Okay, once you do that, make sure you tighten it. Alright, because we want to make sure that is 5. So we're going to tighten that. Make sure that this one doesn't move. I'm going to make sure tighten that. Alright, okay, good. I tightened it. So now I'm going to put a point A. Let's say this is A, and B is going to be when this line touches right there. That's my B. Alright, So that's going to be AB. Because why? That's going to give me 5 centimeters. Now we want to create 60 degrees on this side. How do we do that? Alright, so we want to create 60 degrees. Remember, you just pick the point A first. Alright, this length doesn't matter, any length. Alright, so let's just, we're going to create this length. Alright, okay, let's say right there, as long, okay, so we're going to mark it right there. Okay, alright, make sure you put the sharp needle on the A and then mark it right there. See the intercept, that arc and the line created, put a circle, put a point there. Take the sharp point, make sure you didn't change the length, make sure you keep the length of this from A to that point right there, and then take the sharp point, put it on your point there, and then create a line like this. Okay, alright, and then make sure when you put the point right there, you also create another one like there, or in other words, you could have done like this, or like an arc. Alright, so then when you put it right there, you should create an intercept between these two arcs. Alright, so now you want to take a straight edge from A to that point there. Just put it one straight line up. Just make it, because it's a constructing. Okay, when you're construction, you just straight it. Alright, now we want to create 30 degrees on this side, because we know this is 30. Okay, but first we're going to create a 60 degree angle first. Alright, let's do that, because we don't know, there's no way of right away to construct a 30. We got to create a 60, bisector it, that 60, that create a 30. See that? Alright, let's do that. Okay, so now we're going to take the sharp point and put it on the B. Alright, so we're just going to create an arc like that. Okay, oops, so it's moved, so we got to be careful. Alright, so let Mr. Mac erase that. Let me redo it again. Okay, make sure you take the sharp point and poke it right into your B. Okay, on the B point, make sure it's positioned right. Now create an arc. Create an arc. Alright, create an arc. So now the arc and the line will intercept right here. See that? Put a point on that one. Take the sharp point, your needle point, put it right on that circle, on that point. Now create another arc that intercept with that big arc that you created. Okay, put it out. So that point right there, now combine it with B. That will create what angle? 60 degrees angle. Alright, so we're going to combine from here to here. Alright, we're going to create 60 degree angle first. Okay, remember this is a construction. Alright, we're just constructing. Now we want to find the bisector right in the center right there, because that'll give you 30 and 30. Alright, can I just simply draw by guessing? No, this is a construction lesson. We're constructing, alright, geometrically. Alright, so we're going to use the proper way. So we're going to take the compasses. How do we do that? Alright, so what do you do? First take the sharp point, put it on the B. Okay, and then just, doesn't matter, mark any way you want. Alright, make sure this is positioned such a way, it's tight, so that it won't changes the length. Mark it there, mark it there. Alright, see that? Mark it, this line and that line right there. Once you're done there, pull it out. Okay, so this point and this point, you're going to use it as a reference point to create another intercept. Take the needle point, put it over there. Okay, or you can, just create a line, arc. Create an arc right there, and then take the needle point, put it right there. Alright, okay, and then create another arc. See that? So the arc that you made earlier and another one right there, intercepting right there. Okay, the purpose of that is to bisect this 60 degrees angle. Okay, so now take your straight edge, position it such a way that B and that point lined up. Now create a line. Okay, now look at this. This is your initial 5 centimeters, and this is your another second line that you created. What was that? 60 degree angle. So these two lines are intercepting right there. And now this is what angle this is? 30 degrees. Look at that, you created a triangle right there. Right there. right there. A triangle with 5 centimeters, 60-degree angle and 30-degree angle on this side. Pretty easy, isn't it? 60, 30, 5. Fulfill the requirement that I wanted you to construct. Okay, let's do another one. Alright, this time, hands-on practice. Yes, 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 yes. Alright, this time this way. Okay, so let's say X, Y, Z. Alright, I want 45, 45. 45 degrees there, 45 degrees there. Okay, and this one, let's say 6 centimeters. Alright, okay, let me write down the specification that I want you for your hands-on practice is going to be is the XY is going to be 6 centimeters. Alright, and the angle YXZ is going to be 45, and then XYZ is going to be 45 degrees. Alright, YXZ is going to be 45 degrees, XYZ is going to be 45 degrees. I want you to draw this for me. Alright, let them take a break. You go ahead, pause the video and have fun, and then invite Mr. back in. We'll do it together. Have fun. How was it, my dear student? Pretty easy, isn't it? Pretty straightforward. Alright, okay, let's do it together. Okay, so we want to draw, okay, triangle with 2 angles is given with the 1 side length is given. Alright, so provided. Okay, so we're given XY, which is 6 centimeters. XYZ angle is 45 degrees, XYZ 45 degrees, and then YXZ is 45 degrees angle. Alright, so we're going to construct that. So it's going to be a perfect, okay? So what do? We first start with a straight edge with a horizontal line. Whenever you're dealing with a triangle, always start with a horizontal line. Okay, let's put a horizontal line. Okay, well, let's put one long one. Alright, may require a long line on this one. Okay, okay, so let's do that one long line. Alright, okay, so now we want to put a location for X and Y, because we're using X and Y. Alright, 6 centimeters. So we're going to take the compasses, alright, and then we're going to measure 6 centimeters. So you take the sharp point, put it on the 0, and then stretch it to the 6, right there. Alright, and then make sure it's 6. Okay, so a little bit of bump also will change the length. Alright, so that's why Mr. Mac suddenly bumped it. That's why I measured twice. So position is such in the center. Alright, pick a point. Okay, let's say we are going to pick a point right there. Alright, and then Mr. Mac's going to put the sharp point on that point, and then I'm going to put a line right there. See that? That makes it what? 6 centimeters from that point to that intercept between the arc and the line. So this is going to be your X, and this is going to be your Y. Alright, so we know this is what? 6 centimeters. Alright, we already know that. Now we want to find the 45 degrees angle and a 45 degrees angle. So how do we do that? Okay, first we want to create a perpendicular line on the point on the line. Okay, we're going to create a perpendicular line on the horizontal line. Alright, so vertical line which makes perpendicular to the horizontal line on a point on the line. So twice. So on the line, remember earlier we learned if you want to draw a perpendicular, okay, line on a line point on the line. Okay, how do we do that? Alright, so how do you do that? Okay, good. First, you take your compasses, the point. Let's start with this one, okay? So put it right there, alright? Just mark couple points. Let's say mark this one, and then mark this one, right there. Same length, don't change it, okay? This one and that one. Do the same thing on this one, alright? Put it on, take the sharp point on the X point, and then mark it right there, and then mark it right there. Now keep in mind, construction line, you might want to make it light. You don't make it dark. The dark is once you're done, when you draw the triangle, then you make it darker. Construction line, you just put it light. See that Mr. Mac kind of put a light, but I'm not sure you can see it, so Mr. Mac's going to darken a little bit, okay? Because I don't want to make it too light such that you can't see it on the video. So I'm just going to darken a little bit more, alright? So same thing on this one, darken it a little bit more, so that way you can see it on the video, right? So once I've done that, I'm going to put a point right there and a point right there. Whenever I put a point, that's where the needle, the sharp point, the needle part is going to go. Or for me, it's the suction cup. So now I'm going to put it there, and then I'm going to make it longer. Alright? Longer, alright? So doesn't longer than the earlier. See that? So right there, I'm going to create an arc. Now make sure, don't change the length that you change it longer, alright? Make sure you stay the same. Put it onto this point. Put your needle on that point, and create another arc that intercept. Alright? Do the same thing on this one. Alright? Create an arc, and then put the needle point on this point and create another arc. See that? See, I put it on this point, I create an arc, I put it on this point, I create an arc on the sharp point of your compasses. For me, it's a suction cup. See, there's two arcs that's intercepting, created a point of intercept. See that? Now I'm going to take the straight edge. See, this point and this point, I line it up, and that makes it perpendicular line. So I'm just going to create a construction line again. Construction line, alright? See that? I'm doing the same thing on this one. This point, that point makes it a perpendicular line that makes it 90 degrees. Perfect 90 degrees. Perfect 90 degrees. Alright? But we want 45 degrees. Mr. Mac, you drawn a 90 degrees. Well, our next step is going to be bisector the 90 degrees. We're going to bisector such a way it will create a perfect 45 and 45. Bisector that one. Alright, so how do we do that? Alright, let's take the compass again. The compasses, alright? So we're going to take the sharp point and put it on the X point. Alright, just mark it anywhere on this line and this line. Alright, mark it anywhere in this line and that line. Alright, so now this point and this point, we're going to take this, the needle one, for me it's a suction cup, I'm going to put it right there, and then I'm going to create another arc right there, and then I'm going to put it over here on this point. I'm going to put then create another arc, such a way that this two arc intercept. So I didn't put it big enough, so I'm going to draw, so I'm going to raise it right there. Okay, put it right there, and then create longer so that it'll intercept. And then put it back here, so this one's our intercept right there. That's the point I'm looking for. That point and the X point is going to give me a bisector line. Bisector line. Alright, let's do that. Okay, let's join it. Again, this is a construction line. You're going to make it lighter, but make it longer. Alright, just longer. Longer. There you go. Okay, this is 45 degrees now, because we bisected the 90 degrees. Okay, so now let's go to the other side. Okay, pay attention. Okay, we're going to take your sharp point on the Y. Now we're going to put it on the Y. Just mark it anywhere. Alright, over this way, but same length. This length and this length are same. See that? This length and that length are same. So now I'm going to take this point and this point as my reference point. Okay, let's say we say M and N. Alright, now I take the sharp point. Alright, mine's the suction cup. I'm going to put it there, and then I'm just going to put an arc here. Make a big arc. So, okay, then I take the sharp point, put it on the end, another arc there. So that is intercept. The two arc intercept, and that's the point I'm looking for. And that's the bisector point. When I join that point with the Y point, that bisected that angle 90 degrees into 45, 45. Now look at this. This line and this line intercept right there. So that creates a triangle right there. The triangle. See that now I darken that line so that I can create that triangle. Look at this. And what's this angle? 45. Because we create the bisector construction line. 45, 45. Now look at that. 45, 45, and 6 centimeters. See that? Pretty easy, isn't it? Wow. Right there. We created triangle. A perfect triangle with 6 centimeter length from X, Y. And then, okay, this is going to be a Z point. Alright? That's your Z point. Okay, and then Y, X, Z or Z. Okay, Z is 45 degrees, and then Z, Y, X or X, Y, Z is 45. 45, 45, right there. Wow, you got it? Good job. I'm proud of you. Okay, now be sure, if you think you're struggling, you still didn't get it, all right, go back from the very beginning, because everything that we did from the beginning is build up on top of each other. We learn how to find the length, segment length, and then we learn how to draw a perpendicular line, and then we learn how to do a bisector line, and then angle. See that? So remember, perpendicular makes 90 degrees, and then we need bisector that angle, will give you what? 45, 45. Okay, good. Well, let's Mr. Mac erase the board. We got more to learn. It's so much fun. I'll be back within a few seconds. This is so exciting. Alright, my dear student. Now, so we're going to learn how to construct a triangle, this time with 2 sides and 1 angle. Alright, let's see what the Mac say. Okay, construct a triangle XYZ. Okay, XYZ. XYZ. And I gave you 5 centimeters. And then I told you this one is going to be 4 centimeters. And this angle here is going to be 30 degrees. How do you do that? Alright, okay, so let's put down. Okay, we know XY is going to be 5 centimeters. And then YZ is going to be 4 centimeters. And the angle, alright, the angle XYZ, okay, XYZ is going to be 30 degrees. So how do you do that? Okay, first, let's start with whenever we're dealing with triangle, what's our first step ought to be? Exactly, draw the horizontal line. Okay, let's draw an horizontal line. Okay, let's put a nice long horizontal line. Okay, so this is going to be a horizontal line. Alright, and then we're going to measure XY 5 centimeters. Alright, so let's do that. So let's take the compass, and then let's pick a point. Let's say this is a point. Let's say that's X. Alright, this is our X point. Now we want to find where the Y point is going to fall. So you take the sharp point, position at the 0. Alright, and then position it to the 5. Okay, and the pencil is. Alright, so in this case mine will be chalk. So I position it on the 5, and then I'm going to tighten it. Alright, so once I tighten it, so it'll be positioned such a way that it won't move. Alright, so now I'm going to take this sharp point, or my suction cup, yours will be the point, the needle point, and then mark it right there. And that tells you the length from that point X, and this is going to be a point Y. What's the length is? 5 centimeters. Alright, we already found that 5 centimeters. Now we want to find what the 630 degrees angle is going to be. So first, what we have to do? Exactly, we have to create a 60 degrees first, and then bisector to get 30. Alright, how do we do that? Alright, the way to do that is very good. You take this sharp point, put it on the Y. Put it on the Y. Alright, okay, make sure it's right on the Y, and then just mark like this, right there, an arc. Alright, once you mark an arc, alright, then take this one out. See this point right here? Okay, that intercept, put that sharp point, don't change the length. Okay, the length is going to stay the same. And then mark right there. Make another arc, such that intercept with this big arc. Alright, so that's the point of intercept you're looking for. Now you take the straight edge, join that point with the Y point. Alright, so that will create, now this is a construction, so you want to create a light lines. Alright, now so what is this angle? 60 degrees. That's a 60 degree angle. Alright, when you did what I did, that creates 60 degrees, but we are looking for 30 degrees. So we're going to bisector such a way that will give me 30 degrees. So how do we do that? Very good. Okay, again we're going to grab the compasses. Alright, so first point we're going to do is take that sharp point on yours, put it on the Y again. Alright, so just pick any point. Alright, just pick any point. Let's just say Mr. Max is going to pick, alright, such a way that it's not intercepting with these points. Alright, just put anywhere. Let's say I'm going to mark it here, and then mark it here too. 2 points right there. Alright, very important. Okay, make sure they both are same length, then pull it out. Now you can use the same length or you can increase it, doesn't matter. Alright, now take your sharp point to these 2 points, the one you just created. Alright, let's say M and N. Alright, M and N. So you take the sharp point, put on the M, or your needle, and then just create an arc. And then take that one out, put it on the end, on the sharp, the needle, create another arc. There you go, it's intercepted right there. The two arc intercepted right there. That's the point you're looking for. Now that is your bisecting point of the, if I combine that point with this point, it will bisect that 60 degrees angle into 30 degrees and 30 degrees. I'm going to create a construction line, so that way I'm going to make it lighter right there. So this is 30 degrees. That's the 30 degrees right now. But you know that from the point Y, we need to locate Z. Y to Z is what? 4 centimeters. So I'm going to take the compasses and measure 4 centimeters. So the sharp point on the 0, and this one, go and look for the 4. Right there, 4 is right there, okay? And then once I locate the 4, I'm going to tighten it, alright? Very important, okay? That's my 4. I'm going to pull it out, put your sharp point or the needle point on the Y, mark it on that line. Oh, no, that's a 60 point line. We wanted this one, the 30 angle, this one, mark it on this one. Be careful, because not that one, this one, because we're looking for 30 degrees angle. We marked it right there. Alright, so that's another point. That's your Z point. Because from Y to Z is what? Exactly 4 centimeters. Now you take the straight edge, join from Z to X. Look at that. Now it creates a triangle. Darken it. And then darken this one. Z to Y or Y to Z. Darken that one. Oh. And then darken XY. Okay, let's darken that. Look at that. A triangle that 30 degrees angle on this corner. This is 4 centimeters and this is 5 centimeters. Pretty easy, isn't it? Alright, hands-on practice. Alright, okay, good. Alright, this time Mr. Matt told you, let's say we're going to create a triangle. Okay, let's just do XY. X, Y, Z. And I want this one to be 45 degrees. Okay, I want that to be 45 degrees. And let's say this one is 6 centimeters and this one is 4 centimeters. How about that? 6 centimeters and 4 centimeters. Okay, so in other words, we want your, let's say XY equals to 6 centimeters, YZ is 4 centimeters, and the angle XYZ is 45 degrees. Create the triangle. Go for it. Have fun. He's still having fun. Let him have fun. Alright? Go ahead, pause the video and you have fun. Okay? And I'll see you back once you're done. How was it? Not bad, isn't it? See that? Everything that you've been learning, you put that together, you got the result. Am I right? Isn't it fun? That's what mathematics is all about. Alright, let's do it. Okay? So what's our first step? To draw a triangle. So okay, first let's understand what are you looking for. We're going to draw a triangle with given 2 sides and an angle. Alright, the angle. Alright, the sides we're given is XY 6 centimeter, YZ 4 centimeter, and then XYZ 45 degree angle. Okay, so what's our first step ought to be? Exactly, draw the horizontal line. Okay, let's draw one long horizontal line. Okay, one long one, because okay, let's do one long one. Alright, okay, and then we want to locate XY. Alright, so let's start. X is right there. Okay, this is X, and we want to find where Y is going to fall. So we're going to take the compasses, alright, and then measure 6 centimeters. Okay, we're going to put the 0 where the sharp point, and then position 6 right there. Alright, right there. Okay, so we're going to pull that out, and then from X we find where the 6 centimeters right there. Okay, so that's your Y. That intercept is your Y, and this is what's the length from X to Y? Exactly 6 centimeters. Now before we find the YZ, alright, we need to create the 45 degree angle first, okay? Because we don't know where the XY, we don't know where the YZ, okay, the projection is going to be. We have to locate the angle first, then we create the length. Alright? Okay, good. So what are we going to do? 45 degrees. Can I find the 45 degrees? Well, not really, but yes. What I mean by that? First we're going to find the 90 degrees first, and then we're going to bisect the 90 to find the 45. Alright? Okay. 90 degrees. How do I do 90 degrees? Very good. Perpendicular line. Okay, we're going to create a perpendicular line on the point Y, on the horizontal line. See that? Horizontal line. So we can create a vertical line which is perpendicular to the horizontal line. Alright? So in order to do that, what do? Take the compasses, take the sharp point on the Y. Alright? Then mark it. Mark here. See that? Don't change the length. Keep the same length. Mark it there. Alright, once you've done that, you want to use this point and this point to create another point up there. Alright, so in other words, make it longer, a little bit longer than this. Okay, longer. Okay, take that sharp point, put it on this point, and then mark it anywhere up there. Create an arc. Take that, don't change the size. Alright, put it on this point, the sharp point. Create another arc where it's intersecting. That's the point you're looking for. When I combine this point to that point, that create a perpendicular. Alright, so let's take the straight edge. Alright, let's create a construction line, or a nice long line. Alright, let's just put one straight line like that, right there. There you go. And that is a 90 degrees, a perpendicular line. Okay, so once we've done that, the reason it looks crooked because Mr. Beck this one's kind of slanted. It's not perfectly horizontal. That's why it's kind of, if I take a template and I measure, it will give me 90 degrees. Alright? So now we're going to bisector this angle. 90 degrees when I bisect, it'll give me what? 45. And how do I do that? Very easy. We take the compasses, okay? The sharp point. What do? Put it right here. Okay? We're going to take it right there. Create 2 points. Alright? Two intercept arc. One arc right here, and then one arc right there. Alright? See that? Very important. I want to create 2 points. Not to create the 2 points, I create an arc with this line and an arc with that line. Alright? So now look at that. I got this point and this point. Let's say this is M and N. M and N. Alright? And I take the sharp part of it. This one's sharp right there. For you will be sharp. For me will be the suction cup. I'm going to put it right on the M first. And then I'm just going to create an arc. Alright, I'm going to do the same thing with N. Put a sharp and then create an arc. See that? That intercept that I created is the bisecting point. When I join with the Y point, we'll bisect that angle. Alright, so let's take the straight edge and I'm just going to draw a straight line. Joining the 2 points. Right there. Now that created 45 degrees right there. 45 degrees. Now I can measure for 4 centimeters. So I take the compasses and measure for 4 centimeters from Y to find where the Z is going to be. Okay. So I take the sharp point and put it on the 0 and and position it such a way touching the 4 centimeters right there. All right. Make sure you tighten it, alright? Once I tighten it, and then take the sharp point on the Y, and then mark it. Ah, look at that. It's right there. That's going to be my 4 centimeters right there. That's my Z. YZ. Now, what do? I take the straight edge, join Z to X, or X to Z. Now look at that. A triangle has been formed. Then I can darken the other lines. This line, so the construction line is just to help you to guide it. Once you found the triangle, and then you just darken it. See that? Right there. X, Y, Z. X to Y 6 centimeter, Y to Z is 4 centimeters. The angle 45 degrees. How you do? Did good? Good job. I'm so proud of you. What awesome. You are the best. You are. You're always the best. Well, let's learn more. Alright? Okay, good. Let Mr. Mac erase the board and I'll be back in a few seconds. Alright, my dear students, now let's construct two lines that parallel to each other. Okay, well, Mr. Mac, what is parallel line? Alright, now parallel line is when the lines are parallel to each other. Alright, this is what it is. Okay, let's say for example, okay, let's take a road. Alright, and this is the road and this is a sidewalk. And I'm standing here and you standing here. Alright, and we said, well, let's walk along the sidewalk and hopefully we'll meet somewhere. Do you think we'll ever meet? No, because the two sidewalks on a road are parallel to each other. We can walk and walk and walk and walk forever. We're never going to meet each other because the roads, the sidewalks will never join. They're always parallel to each other because that's how the cars can travel, alright? If it meets, eventually what happens? The cars come, oh, stops. It's like, oh, what is it? The road. There's no road because the two sidewalks joined. See that? So that parallel line means two lines will never meet. Okay? So how do we construct a parallel line? Alright? Let's say for example, Mr. Mac, to give you a line. Let's say I gave you, let's say I draw a line. Alright? This line. And I told you this is a line AB. Alright? Let's say this is AB. And I want you to create a parallel line to AB. See that? In other words, another line right here. Parallel, a perfect parallel, because right now there's no way for me to tell whether this line is going to be parallel or not by just constructing one. Okay, so what do we do? First, we want to draw a perpendicular line to AB. Alright, let's take a point. Let's take a point right here. We want to make a perpendicular to that point. Alright, so we want to make a straight line up there. So perpendicular makes what? 90 degrees. So how do we do that? We already learned that, alright? So we're going to take the compasses, alright, and take the sharp point. We're going to position right on that point that we wanted, alright? So we're going to mark it right here, and we're going to mark it right there. See that? Make sure the length are same, alright? Once I've done that, I can increase the size, alright? So I'm going to increase it, and then I'm going to put it at this point right here, and this point. Okay, so I'm just going to position the sharp. So once I use this length, I keep it that as my constant. All right. Okay, I'm going to put that sharp point to that point right there, and then create an arc. All right, create an arc, and then I do the same thing. Put the sharp point over there, create an arc. The purpose is so that I intercept and I get this point right there. Then I take a straight edge, join those 2 points. This center point and that one right there. I mean this point right there. I shouldn't say center point, a point on the AB, okay? So now I joined them two, okay? So let's line it up, such a way this, line it up right, and then create a one long construction line, okay? So now I got one perpendicular line to this. My next goal is to create a perpendicular line to this one. So perpendicular line this one. So let's make this is the point. Alright? So we're going to create the line perpendicular on that point. See that? The line on that point, we're going to create a perpendicular. Alright? So what are we going to do? Do the same thing we did on this line. Take the compasses. Alright? The sharp point, we're going to put it right there. And then we're just going to create 2 points. One over here, 2 arcs. Okay? And then 1 arc right here. And that will give us what? 2 intercept, which we need a point right there and a point right there. Alright? So now I take the sharp point and put on that point and create a certain length. Alright? If I take this length, I have to keep it consistent for that one also. So I just create an arc. I create an arc and then I pull it out. I put it over here and then create another arc. So make sure the length is same, doesn't change. Right there. My goal is to create an intercept between those 2 arcs right there. That's the intercept I'm looking, that's the point I'm looking for. Now I take the straight edge, I create a straight line. Now that line is perpendicular to AB. These 2 lines are now perpendicular. So once I draw the straight line, alright, so now I'm going to label that as XY. Now, XY now is parallel to AB. So we got 2 parallel lines. See that? We use that perpendicular, constructing a perpendicular line method twice. First we did this line. This is a given line. To create a perpendicular, I created one, and then after I created that perpendicular line, use that line to create another perpendicular. See that? And that line formed a parallel to AB, and I labeled it as XY. Now you get X and Y. So X and Y now makes parallel to A and B. So once you've done that, what you can darken it. Okay, now so you darken those lines because this is what you're looking for. Then you can erase all that construction line. The goal is the construction line is to help you to guide how to to get to your goal. Your goal is to what? To create two lines that parallel to each other. See that? Then you can just erase all these construction lines. That's why you use a pencil. Alright, a light pencil to draw the construction. Then you take the eraser and just erase it. Now look at that. Two lines are parallel. In order to identify these two lines are parallel, you put two arrows like this. That says AB is parallel to XY. Right there. Pretty easy, isn't it? Now be sure, if you think you're still not sure about drawing this parallel, two lines that are parallel to each other, go back and understand, because the next part of the lesson, sub-lesson, we're going to learn how to draw parallelogram. So you need to have a better understanding how to draw two parallel lines in order to create a parallelogram. Alright? And if you think you're ready, let's move forward. Let's do the parallelogram, and I'll be back within a few seconds. Alright, my dear students, now we're going to learn how to construct a parallelogram. Okay, so it's very important we understand the characteristic of a parallelogram. Now, parallelogram has four sides. Okay, so the opposite sides, let's say if I put a line right there, okay, the opposite sides are parallel to each other. That means, let's say this line, this side is parallel to this side. This side is parallel to that side. See that? And that's why you call them parallelogram. Alright, it has four sides. Okay, and then let's say Mr. Mac so very important, keep in mind, okay, the opposite sides are parallel to each other. Alright, so now let's label them A, B, C, D. Let's construct a parallelogram. Let's say Mr. Mac to give you, okay, I told you AB, it's 4 centimeters, and then AD is 5 centimeters. Alright, so AB is 4 centimeters, and then AD is 5 centimeters. Okay, and then I told you this angle is 45 degrees. That means BAD, angle BAD is 45 degrees. And I ask you to construct a parallelogram, alright, based on this information provided. So how do we do that? Alright, let's get our straight edge. We start with the exactly horizontal line. Alright, okay, let's create an horizontal line. So we're going to create an horizontal line. Alright, let's do that. Let's create a horizontal line, and then let's pick a point A. Okay, so point A. So let's just take the point A right here, and we're going to find where the point D is going to be, because we know the length from A to D is what? 5 centimeters. So we're going to take the compasses, take the sharp point, and we're going to position it at the 0, and then we're going to stretch it to come to the 5 right there, okay? So make sure it's tightened, and then take the compass right there, the sharp point of the compasses, put it on the point A. I mean, let's say in this case A. So we're going to label that as A. We're going to locate the D. D is right there. Okay, so that's going to be our D point right there. Our D is right there. So we're going to say D. So we know A to D is what? 5 centimeters. Now we want to find the 45 degrees angle. Alright, so 45. In order for us to find the 45 degrees angle, we need to create a perpendicular line to the horizontal, alright, using this point. So how do we do that? So we take the compasses, alright, take the sharp point. What do? We position like the A, and then we just mark it anywhere over here, and then we mark it over here. Alright, well, let's make it well, that's fine. I'll lengthen the line. Alright, so we marked it over here and there. So let's make that line longer, so we have the intercept. We need the intercept. Alright, so Mr. Max is going to stretch that line a bit longer. Okay, let's see, line it up right, and then All right there. Okay, so I need this point and this point. Okay, so let's take the straight edge again. I mean the compasses. Take the point, the needle point, put it right there, and then just stretch it. Just put. Once you pick up a certain length, make it fix. All right, because we're going to use it this side of the arc, and then we're going to do it the same thing over here, and we're going to create another arc. We're looking for the intercept between those two arcs. There you go. It's intercepting right there. Put a point right there. Now I'm going to take the straight edge and join that point with A. Okay, I'm going to create a construction line. It's a light line, so I'm just going to create a straight line like that, and that is a perpendicular line to this horizontal line. All right, that makes it 90 degrees. Okay, my goal is to create 45 degrees. Okay, so that means I'm going to find a bisector. All right, this is 90 degrees. Okay, if this is 90 degrees, I want to find where it bisects so I can have a 45 degrees. So how do we do that? Again, we're going to grab the compasses. All right, take the sharp point, put it right there. All right, so what are we going to do? Just create anywhere along here. One right here and one right there. Make sure the same length. All right, and then take the sharp point. Let's say this is M and N. All right, M and N. M and N. All right, so you can take any length you want. You can keep the same length also, it's fine. All right, then put that sharp point on the M and then create an arc right there, and then put it on the N, create another arc. Make sure it's intercept with the other arc. The goal is so I can get a point right there. I'm looking for this point. This point is going to bisect when I join that point to A. All right, I'm going to take the straight edge, I'm going to join them. I'm going to create a construction line. All right, so it's going to be a light line right there. That tells me this is 45 degrees. See that? Okay, now I've been told AB is what? Exactly 4 centimeters. Okay, so that means I can find B point. So I'm going to grab the compasses, take the sharp point, put it on the 0, and then look for 4 right there. All right, now take the sharp point, put it on A, and mark that one. This is going to be my B, because now from A to B is what? 4 centimeters. All right, so now I want to create this line parallel to that. So how do we do that? Okay, so to create a parallel line, so my goal is to do what? To create a vertical line. Create a vertical line or a perpendicular line from B to this line. So how do we create a perpendicular line from B to this line? All right, what do we do? Okay, we take the compasses again. All right, so my goal is to use this point. Okay, so first what you want to do is take any point. All right, like first take the sharp point, put it on the B. All right, so make sure the length are same. All right, so we're just going to mark it anywhere along this line. Right, this line and this one right there, same length. Okay, very important, same length right there. Once I found this point and this point, I go take the sharp point. Now I mark it over here down, and then mark it down. All right, I'm not sure you can see it or not. All right, I use the same when I take this sharp point. Okay, I position it right there, and then see that one right there. See that? Okay, and then I used it as a B as my sharp point. Okay, the B was up to create this. All right, when I put it this one right there, I created this. All right, so now I created an arc, and then I need this point right here, this point of intercept. Now when I join point B to point that gives me a perpendicular line. All right, so now let's take the straight edge. Let's take the straight edge and join B to that point right there. That makes this one perpendicular. Create a construction line. All right, so now I want to create a perpendicular line to this line. All right, now this is a line. I want to create a perpendicular to that. That means it goes like this. It goes like that. All right, let's do that. Okay, so we're going to create a perpendicular line to that. How do we do that again? So same principle. Take your compasses, okay? So now what do? It's going to be perpendicular on this line. On this line, alright? So you take the sharp point. Okay, now first let's make the line longer. Let's make this line longer. Right, let's make this line longer. Let's make it a bit longer up. So I want to locate this from this point. I want to create two intercept points, same length. All right. So I want to create two intercept points on the same length from B. So I take the sharp point, I put it on the B, and then let's say I create a certain length. So I want to mark it right here, and then I'm going to mark it right here. Same length, okay? Do not change the length, right here and there. Then I'm going to put a point right there and a point right there. Once I've done that, now I can create any length I want, alright? But make sure the length is same for both points, this point and that point. Let's say I put an arc here, and then I put it over there, I create another arc here. See that? So I got this intercept. This intercept, I'm going to join it with B, alright? So I take the straight edge, and I put a straight line. Again, I'm doing a construction line, alright? So I'm going to make it lighter. So I'm just going to put a construction line right there. Now these two lines are parallel to each other. Now keep in mind, in parallelogram, AD is same as BC. So AD is 5 centimeters, this also will be 5 centimeters. Okay, so I know B. That means can I locate C? Yes, I take the compasses and measure for 5 centimeters. Okay, take the sharp point, put it on the 0, and then position it to the 5. And then I put the B, and then mark it. Alright, I'm going to make the line a bit longer, okay, so that will intercept. So I'm going to make it the line longer. Alright, so let's make the line longer. Right there. There you go. And that's going to be my C. And then all I got to do is just join C to D. C to D. That automatically become parallel. When I join C to D, well, they automatically be parallel to AB. See that? So now I created a parallelogram. Now let me darken that. Let me darken that. So, oops. Right there. I created a parallelogram. Of course, you don't want to darken like this. Alright, you want to use a straight edge and darken, just shading it darker, right? So this line and this line are parallel, this line and this line are parallel. Keep in mind, when you got two sets of parallel lines, you use with a different number of arrows. One arrow, that means these two are parallel. Two arrows, these two are parallel. See that? And angle is 45 degrees. Pretty easy, isn't it? Okay, good. Now how about let's do hands-on practice. You draw, Mr. Mac, a parallelogram. Alright, this time Mr. Mac wants you, let's say if I give you the parallelogram like this, alright, X, Y, let's say R, S, T, U. Okay, R, S, T, U. Okay, so, and I want this angle to be 60 degrees. Okay, and this one is let's say 4 centimeters, and this one is 3 centimeters. 4 centimeters and 3 centimeters. That means I give you RS equals to 3 centimeters, RU equals to 4 centimeters, and the angle SRU is 60 degrees. Construct a parallelogram based on this information that I provided you. Alright? Alright, my dear students. I know Pablo's having a great time. Let him have fun. We have fun on this side by working hard. Alright? Alright, my dear student. Go ahead, pause the video, and I'll see you back when you're done. Alright, my dear student, how was it? Pretty easy. Oh my goodness, what a joy, what a joy to hear that. Mr. Max, so excited to hear this. It is easy, isn't it? Alright, let's do it together, okay? Alright, so let's recap what we've been given. Alright, we're given RS. Okay, in other words, we want to construct a parallelogram. Okay, what's the characteristic of a parallelogram? The opposite sides are parallel lines. All right, lines are parallel to each other. Okay, so RS is parallel to UT, ST is parallel to RU, and then you're given RS 3 centimeters, RU is 4 centimeters. Okay, so this one is 3 centimeters and this one is 4 centimeters, and then the angle SRU is 60 degrees. Okay, good. So we're given this information. All right, so now we understand what parallelogram is. All right, we got opposite sides are parallel. All right, so now keep in mind, when this line is parallel to that line, you put one arrow. When that line is parallel to that line, you put double arrows. Okay, when they're in the same diagram, on the same diagram. All right, good. Now let's do that. Let's construct the parallelogram. Okay, what should be our first step? Exactly, we're going to draw a horizontal line. Okay, let's draw one long horizontal line. Okay, let's start with the horizontal line. Okay, so let's do that. Let's draw one long horizontal line, and then we're going to locate R. All right, let's just put R right there. Let's put R right there. Okay, now with the starting point R, we should able to find U, because we know the length from R to U is what? 4 centimeters. Okay, so let's take the compasses and then measure for 4 centimeters on this straight edge. Put the sharp edge, the sharp point on the needle on the 0 and stretch it to the 4, where the pencil should touch your 4 centimeters. My situation, Mr. Mac's situation is a chalk should touch the 4 centimeters. So I'm going to pull it out, and then I take the sharp point and then put it on the R. Alright, R point, and then I just mark it on that line. Okay, the point of intercept between the arc and the line is my U point. Right there, I found the U point. And we know that from R to U is what? 4 centimeters. Alright, now my next goal now is to create the 60-degree angle. And how do we do that? Very good. Okay, so what do we do? We use this compasses again. So take the sharp point and put it on the R. Okay, now create an arc. Create an arc. See that? Alright, the point of intercept of the line in the arc, right there, this is the point. Don't change the size, keep it the way it is. Okay, make sure this size didn't change. Take that sharp point, put it on that point right there. Now look for an intercept between those two arcs. See that? Intercept. You want that point right there, because that point connecting to the R will create a 60-degree angle. Alright? Okay, let's do that. Let's join those 2 points. So we're going to point that point to R, will create me a 60-degree angle. Let's create a construction line. Alright? So we know this is going to be, what's the angle is going to be? 60 degrees. When you follow this step, it will automatically, this one will be a 60 degrees, which we learned previous. Alright? Okay, good. That means we should able to now locate S, because R to S is what? 3 centimeters. So we know this is R, so will we able to find S? Yes. We take that compasses again, measure for 3 centimeters. Take the sharp point, put it on the 0. Stretch it to the 3 centimeters. Once you locate the 3 centimeters with your pencil, alright, make sure you tighten the compass. Alright, Mr. Mac's situation, this one will be the chalk. So I take that sharp point, put it on the R point, and then just create an arc on that line, and that is my S point. Okay, that's my S point. Alright, so now what we want to do is we want to create a line parallel to this. See that? This line parallel to that. So in order to do that, I need to first create, using this point as my point to make perpendicular to this horizontal line. So now this point is outside this line. So I'm going to use the method. Remember we learned earlier to draw a perpendicular line when the point is outside, not on that line. It's not on the line. Okay, how do we do that? Again, we take the compasses. Alright, so let's do that. So this is the point right there. Okay, so we're going to take this, take the sharp point, put it on the S. Put it on the S. Alright, and then just mark it right here, and then use the same length to mark it right there. See that? So mark it here and mark it there. And then you got two intercept, one right here and one right here. Oh, right here. So you want to use this point and that point. Take this one, take the sharp point, make sure you didn't change the length. The length should stay the same. Put it on that point right there, and then create an arc right there. And then put it right there, and that point right there. Okay, create another arc. Saturate the intercept with this arc. My goal is to find the point of intercept. My goal is to find the point of intercept between these two arcs right there. I need this point. With that point, and I combine S to that, will give me a perpendicular line. Alright? So I take the straight edge, I line it up, S to that point, and then draw a construction line. And that makes it, this one's perpendicular, 90 degrees. So now, I want to find this line, okay, perpendicular line to that. So in other words, a perpendicular line to this line. Alright? With that point. So that point is now on that line. And I want to create a perpendicular line. How do we do that? Okay, again, we're going to use the compasses. Alright? So this time, I take the sharp point, put it on the S. Okay, let's make that line longer. I need to make this line a bit longer. Okay, let's make this construction line longer. Okay, let's pull it more further up. Okay, so now I take that compasses, the sharp point on the S. Alright, and then I just mark it. Right, and I just mark it right here, and I mark it right there. I need to create two intercept. I need this one and this one. Alright? Using those 2 points, I want to create an arc right here. 2 arcs, alright? So, let's take the sharp point and position one over here. The length doesn't matter. You can keep it any way you want, alright? Okay, make sure it's longer than the center, alright? This one, okay? It's a bit longer like this. Okay? So now, let's say, I want to keep it like this. Keep it same. Okay? You want to make sure you fix that length. Alright, because why? Because you're going to do the same on this side. And you want to create the intercept of 2 arcs. See that? The goal is that 2 arc intercept this point. I want this point. Because when I join this point with that point, it's going to create a perpendicular line. Okay, it's going to create a perpendicular line to this line. Alright, so now I'm going to join it. See that? When this line is perpendicular, that means these 2 lines now is parallel. Okay, make sure it's let me, I don't think so. Line it up right. Let me redo it again. Line it up. It's very important, lining up. Alright, okay, let's line it up right. Okay, so there you go. Alright, there we go. Right there. Okay, so now this line perpendicular to this line. Alright, so now look at that. If this RU is 4 centimeters, ST also 4 centimeters. That's the characteristic about parallelogram. And RS is 3 centimeters. So that means S is right here. Can I find T point? Yes, by measuring 4 centimeters. Okay, so let's take the compasses and measure for 4 centimeters. Take the sharp, put it on the 0, and then look for 4 right there. Okay, and then put it on the S, and then line it right there, and that's the 4 centimeters right there, and that makes it, this one is what? T. So now I take the straight edge, I can join T to U. T to U, see that? So T to U, that automatically that T to U line will become parallel to RS. So now this line and this line become parallel. Let me darken this. See that? Now these 2 lines become parallel. This line ST becomes parallel to RU. I'm going to put 2 arrows right there. See that? Pretty easy, isn't it? We created a parallelogram right there based on this information that was provided. This is 4 centimeters, this is 3 centimeters, this is 4 centimeters, and this is 3 centimeters. That's the characteristic of parallelogram. The opposite sides are equal length and they're parallel lines to each other. They're parallel to each other. The opposite sides are equal length and the lines are parallel to each other. You got it? You got it right? Good job. I'm so proud of you. Now again, if you think you're struggling with this constructing triangle, parallelogram, perpendicular lines, bisector lines, angles of 60, 90, 30, 45, go back. Alright? Go back and review. There is no quiz in this lesson. Alright? It's just hands-on practice. Be sure to understand. Alright? When you go over and over and over with what Mr. Mac explained to you, you will get it. First time, if you don't get it, doesn't matter. Do it again. That's the beauty about online learning. Isn't that awesome? That's what Mr. Mac loves about SCORE Matric 3. You know why? Because you can learn as many times you want. You can replay the video. And you can learn as much as you want. And Mr. Mac really challenge you. Okay, before you go to the next lesson, be sure you understand you're not learning this just to get A in your exam. You're learning this to be successful in your life. Because when you go to the real world, when you're in the working life, when you're doing work, not necessarily in your profession. Let's say something you're doing construction in your house, doing some work, or building something, a toy for yourself, you can use this method. Use this construction, alright? Geometrical construction. What do you learn on this? Alright, my dear student, I want the best for you because you are the best and you deserve the best, and that's why Mr. Mac wants to bring the best for you, and it is coming from the best. So be sure you understand this lesson before go to the next lesson. Alright? Okay. Have fun, and I'll see you in the next lesson. Bye-bye.